Today we're talking about social entrepreneurship and what the hell that means. Hey y'all, I'm Michelle Coyle and I help queer entrepreneurs start up, grow, and thrive. And today we're going to be talking about social entrepreneurship. It gets thrown around a lot as a buzzword, but what does it actually mean? Let's get into it right now. Alright, so here's the thing. Historically, businesses have always been organized with one goal in mind, that is to create value for their shareholders. This is what I was taught in business school and what every MBA you know, or if you have an MBA, it's what you were definitely taught in business school. What does that mean? It means whoever's invested in the business, whether that be the owners, whether that be, family and friends that have invested in the business, or whether that be a publicly traded company who actually has issued shares to shareholders, the number one goal of that business is to create value and provide a return on the investment for whoever's invested in that business. Now, lately, and when I say lately, I mean the past decade or two, the thinking around that has shifted a little bit, right? How can businesses be better members of society? How can businesses contribute? How can businesses be good citizens? And I know that's really loaded, but that's how some businesses are starting to think about it. Can we do well by doing good? Can we make money and do good things for society? And can we be a productive entity while creating value for the shareholders, which is still really, really important in order to grow the business, fuel the economy, and keep everything going, right? When I think about social entrepreneurship, right? Because this is one of those things that lots of people mean different things. I always want to kind of dig in. What do you actually mean when you're saying that? And are we on the same page in terms of the values that we're talking about? When I define social entrepreneurship, I'm thinking about a business that does anything to help the social good, anything to help society, anything to help people. Now, that can be really obvious, right? So we do a lot of political work or a lot of business consulting with political entities or people that are in the business of politics, all on the left, all for progressive candidates. But to me, that's really obvious. They're helping get progressive candidates elected. They are doing something that very much translates to immediate social good, in my opinion, with my values. It's always not that obvious, though. Sometimes there are things like with product models where there's a one-to-one model. So if you guys remember Tom's shoes, right? For every pair of shoes that they made or every pair of shoes that they sold, right, they were giving a pair of shoes away. So that's another kind of obvious way to do it from the product side. But also there are ways that you can kind of dig in and see this company is really doing a lot of good for people that you wouldn't necessarily see on the surface, right? I have a client, for instance, who makes leather goods for Renaissance Fair. So for that kind of Ren Fair role play stuff, which you could kind of see as frivolous if you wanted. But when we started talking about it, she was talking, and she's queer as well, and she was talking about a lot of the queer kids that go to the Renaissance Fair and need this opportunity for self-expression. And this is maybe the first place where some of these people find out who they really are and are able to really feel like themselves and really express. And the leather goods that she makes help them express themselves as who they are, and she started making now leather tags with pronouns and things like that. And so it's on the surface this kind of frivolous thing of like, dress up leather goods for cosplay. But when you get deeper, she's really doing a lot to help a lot of people, and she's really thought that through, right? I really, really, really love that. And those are just kind of the external aspects of a social entrepreneurship venture, right? We also have to look at the internal aspects, right? So when I'm looking at a business to see, is this a socially responsible business? I'm also looking at, how do they treat their staff? Are they providing health insurance benefits? Are they providing retirement benefits? Are we acting in accordance with our values in terms of being responsible for our own team's well-being as well, right? So when you're kind of thinking about this and thinking about social entrepreneurship, maybe you're pre-launch and you're thinking about whether you want to get into this or how, the first thing I really want you to be thinking about is why you're doing this. Again, who do you want to help? Why are you in business? What's the point? A lot of people are in business to make money, and that's fine. I'm a big old capitalist. I'm all for making money and providing value to people and growing the economy as much as we possibly can, right? But I also think it's important that whatever we're doing in life, the endeavor is to help people as well. You do not have to choose between making money and doing good in society. And this is a common misnomer. I have a lot of people come to me with a lot of blocks around this where they're afraid to go into business, or they're in business, but they're afraid to really do what they need to do to grow the business, right? So they're afraid to advertise or talk about themselves or promote themselves or go too far into making money until we start talking about what about the jobs that you can create and provide? What about the bigger platform that you can have to help more people? And kind of getting in that mindset of growth and getting big in business and making money does not mean that you're doing less good. In fact, quite the opposite. If you start with the idea of, I want to do as much good for as many people as I possibly can, then you'll start to see very quickly that growing the business is the vehicle that lets you do that, because it gives you more reach and more platform and more influence and more ability to do the good work that you're doing. So why just make money when you could make money and also do something good for people, is what I say. So if you're thinking about that, I'd love to hear it. You know, what are your thoughts around this? Do you feel conflict between making money and doing good? Do you feel like it's bad to make money, or that you're a bad person if you make money, or that anybody that tries to make money in business is a bad person? I want to hear about that. Drop it in the comments. Let's have a discussion about it. You know, I'm always interested to hear what you guys think. If there's a topic you'd love me to cover, let me know that in the comments too. You know, I'm going to do it. Always an interesting and fun challenge. If you liked what I had to say today, and if you want to see more, go ahead and hit subscribe right here. Follow us along. We're going to be doing a lot of these business tips. I want to hear about the socially responsible stuff that you're doing. I want to hear about your good work. Let me know about it. And until next time, go do the thing, let your light shine, and we'll see you later.